Welcome to Noisegate. Today we're at the Melbourne Guitar Show at the Royal Showgrounds, and we are going to go around and check out what is happening inside the event, see some cool new products that are out, and basically have a chat to people. Let's go check it out. Here we are at the Manny's stand. Now Manny's have a whole lot of stuff to show us. Let's have a look at a few things. We'll maybe chat to some people as we go. Let's have a look. Chris Taylor of Gibson.
Yes, sir.
Can we interview you?
You can.
Good to see you. What have you brought to the show for us here on behalf of Gibson?
It's almost like what haven't we bought?
Great. Let's have a look at a few things. Yeah. So we've got an Explorer here.
This is a Carina Custom Shop Explorer, just under $20,000. This is modelled off the old Big Ed, famous guitar from the 50s that Gibson have in the secret vault over in Nashville. Yeah. Beautiful guitar. My personal favourite. This beautiful 335 watermelon colour, gold hardware. It's modelled off the famous 1959 ES335. Beautiful guitar.
So this is a colour. This is a colour that was around in the day, or is this an aged thing that has been imitated?
It's a good question. Yeah. So the watermelon colour is actually built to represent a 60s cherry colour that's faded over time to this sort of colour, which is indicative of how they do fade occasionally, like this one they've been out in the UV light. But this is just a beautiful guitar.
So this is one that sat in the front of a shop window in the sun for 50 years, hasn't been played, and this is what it looks like.
That's exactly right. It's exactly what it is. Yeah. And you know, just the way they've built this by customising it with the block inlays, and you can see just the hardware. It's a fantastic, beautiful guitar. Feel the lightweight of that. It's just a very light guitar.
That really is. For a 335, that is quite light. Actually, speaking of lightweight, this Les Paul here, Alpine mahogany or Alpine?
Yes, that's well done. So yeah, this is high altitude. This is actually made with high altitude mahogany, and what happens with the high altitude mahogany is it gets so cold and whatnot, and the way the moisture gets into the wood and takes up a lot of area in it, and then once it comes out of it, it leaves the light very lightweight.
So it does this sort of the same thing as what like a roasted maple or roasted something does, but it's a more natural process.
And even more so. Yeah, and even more so. But this Les Paul is extremely light. It wouldn't weigh more than about 7.5 pounds in the old scale. Probably, absolutely no more than that. And most people, when they pick this guitar up, they think that it's been weight relief with whole.
That's what I thought when I picked it up before.
Yeah, it's a very light Les Paul, but what an absolute beautiful example. Washed cherry burst, beautiful colour, beautiful flame. The boys in they call this in the custom shop. They generally call the flame like this type flame, they call them barbecue grill guitars. Oh, yeah. And sometimes they call them lawyer guitars because it's the ones the lawyers like when they buy them. But absolutely beautiful specimen. Great guitar.
Now we've got Andy here from Neural. So tell us about what we have at the show here today.
Yeah, so we've got their two hardware products. We've got the Quad Cortex, the flagship, and the newer Nano Cortex. And this is a capture player, the Nano, but what they both do, which is different to the other brands, is they capture standalone. So you can capture your own amps and your own pedals on the unit and then drag them into presets and use them.
Live on stage, you captured a Klon and you had no ability to tell the difference between the two, is that right?
Almost imperceptible, except there was no monitoring, but no. Right. It sounds like a Klon. And that's the point, is that you can capture things, put them in the box and leave them at home.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So the expensive stuff doesn't get stolen on the road.
Exactly. And unfortunately pedals go up in value and sometimes you have them for 10 years and you don't want to take them out anymore, but you can still take them out.
Yeah, great. One of the things that caught my eye here was this new 2 notes impulse response and load box. This is a new product from 2 notes. Tell us a little bit about what you can tell us about this.
Sure. It's a multi-impedance load box. It's an attenuator, 2 channels, all analog. We've had it play through the orange amp, full blast. It sounds amazing. And you can have it in the studio, you can take it live. Probably one of the best things at the moment, and not in the country as yet.
And the styling, I know it's not really that important in terms of tone, but the styling is good when you are trying to make a YouTube studio that's got to look good on camera. Your products have got to look good in there as well, right? Now the 2-channel thing is cool. So is that 2 different amps that can run into that? Do you know?
You can do a number of things. You can go stereo out of it, so if you've got an effect that's stereo, you can do a wet, dry rig sort of setup.
I'm excited to hear and learn a little bit more about that as they come. Do we have an idea of when they'll be in the country?
About early April.
Early April. We'll try and get one of them on the channel and demo one of them when they come in. Here we are with Adam from Ibanez. Now, Adam, what have you brought to the Melbourne Guitar Show of Ibanez product?
Well, this year we've really focused on the new 2025 collection. Yep. So we've got the new AZ standards here. We've got a number of spot models, including kind of like a pastel pink AZ, a spot model in a RG 5121 with Fluent and an Evertune. Limited edition 1 of 15 J Custom spec Aussie Blackwood.
That's obviously specifically made for the Australian market, or are Ibanez doing that globally?
No, it's specifically made for the Australian market. And then we just tried to bring the unique and the cool stuff. The newer colour Pia in the blue. A couple of new AZs that were released later in the part of last year. And then just unique finishes in the EHB product. And that bass quiet there is one of the unique spot models for the year in the BTB range with the anodized blue hardware.
That is a styling on a bass that I have not seen before. Reminds me of some kind of like futuristic space or car travel or something like that, All right, here we are, Tim with ESP. Tell us about what you brought to the guitar show this year.
All right, hello everyone. I want to show you one thing real quick. Let me run out and get a guitar for you.
Grab it.
As you can see, it's very busy. So if there are
noisy.
Background noises, I'm sorry. We managed to get the only Mick Thomson MT1 in the country. So this is the new LTD signature model from Slipknot guitarist Mick Thomson. Quick specs, mahogany body. We've got a white ash top. We've got a hip shot high mass bridge. A single Mick Thomson Fishman Fluence with the voice control there. 3-way switch. A nice satin neck as well, as opposed to the gloss on the body. And then the hip shot locking tuners, the open geared ones are really nice there. So, this is a pretty sleek, simple design, but a lot of guitar. Even got that nice cut, like the old school ESP Horizons have. So this is a very special guitar for us to have here at the Melbourne Guitar Show.
So tell me, how long has Mick Thomson been associated with ESP? Not that long, right?
No, this is fresh. This is the first SIG model to come out with ESP, and it's probably only been maybe a year or so. I don't even remember, but it's been a very short amount of time, very I think we're going to see a lot of different models come from him,
and from the Slipknot family more broadly. Jim Root as well, maybe?
I don't know. Jim Root's pretty tied up with some other brands, but no, we're very excited to have this, and I'm sure we'll see a lot more for sure. Yeah. Well,
that's really cool, and that classic Eclipse body shape is, it's an ESP classic.
Yeah. So this is the Horizon shape. So this is the double.
Sorry, the Horizon.
It's the Super Strat style shape. Very classic in the ESP land. A lot of ESP fans will know this shape. And guitar players in general. There's a lot of different variations of this shape. But very sleek design. I'm very happy to have it here. Do you want to see the custom shop Hetfield Snakebite? I know you're...
Do we want to see the custom shop? Of course we want to see the custom shop Hetfield Snakebite. Now, say what you will, whether you're a Metallica fan or not, straight away that looks very cool, hey?
Yeah, no, I'm a bit of a Hetfield fanboy, so sorry if this video goes for the next 10 minutes. No, it'll be fine. But this is Hetfield's classic snakebite shape. This is part of the ESP Signature Series. This is the custom shop version, so the ESP headstock version. And if I look at the back here, it's got the same finish on the back and the neck. Now this is all hand painted, so they'll tape off and do each finish or each color separately. So it's a very amazing attention to detail. You've got a mahogany body, you've got EMG JH set, a pretty simple volume layout, and then ebony fingerboard, mahogany neck as well. So
it looks great too. And so tell this snakebite design, obviously that is where that name comes from. I have not actually seen one of these up close before.
It's clearly a shape that is familiar in other brands, but it's just a variation of it. I think it's meant to just give off a bit of an animalistic vibe. So I don't think the snake is relevant to the design, but there's just cool little inflections and cool little contours that you don't see anywhere else.
But even that, I can sort of see the snakehead thing. I don't know if I'm imagining it. Obviously the inlay.
You've got the fang there, which is very similar. Nice fang sort of harp, Metallica M sort of point there. But very cool. We don't like ESP custom shops can take up to 2 years to get built, and Australia is, you know, way down there, and sometimes our wait's a little longer, but we're very, very lucky to see this here.
Once again, this is why we come to the show like this, to see the cool things that we can't usually get our hands on, and that's a great example of that. So Tim has also got here for us 2 brand new Digitech pedals. Now let's start with that because it's obviously very eye-catching. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so this is the Mononeon signature Whammy from Digitech. The Whammy has been around for years. It's very well known. It's the king of pitch shifting. This is no different. So we've got a new colorway and a new hypersonic setting. So this is not only, well, Mononeon is a bass player and very well known bass player, but it's also very well suited for guitarists as well. Especially in a modern sort of heavy setting where I'm generally from, noise is pretty popular. So like this will be very popular for creating those different landscapes and ambient sounds that you wouldn't get in a lot of other gear out there.
But it's not like attuned to a bass player particularly.
No, it's they've actually communicated that it's optimized for a guitarist, a guitar player as well. So
I mean, Mononeon's tone is relatively bright and high frequency, and he plays up quite high, up the dusty end, as they say. So he's probably in that realm.
Did you say the dusty end?
Yeah.
I like that. I don't think I've heard of that before.
It's a good one.
But yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, he's playing pretty wild licks up there and whatnot. So obviously this is going to be a similar, I guess, frequency for that as well.
And then in your other hand, what is this?
This is the Digitech Hammeron. So this is taking from the Whammy family of pedals. They've used the technology like Ricochet and the Freak Out as well. So this is another sort of version of this Whammy technology. You can create different sequences with the pedal as well, and they've got like a capo mode, so not only are you going down like you would in the Digitech drop, you can go up as well. You can actually get some pretty crazy.
So this goes down and up as well, so it sort of does the drop thing, but it goes up too.
Yes, yeah, exactly right. Cool. It's very new. It's not even available in Australia yet, so we managed to get a bit of a sample or a bit of
another Melbourne Guitar Show special.
Yes, we're all about exclusives here. At least we try to be. Yeah. So yeah, very excited to see that. And if you, well, I guess this will be posted last or in the future.
Yeah.
So if you were here, you could play it.
Yes. We will get one of them on the channel too soon and demo that. Maybe the Whammy as well. Maybe I'll put them both together and just see how low or high I can get.
How many sounds you can get out of it in one. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be fun.
Yeah. All the dogs in the neighborhood will start coming too.
Exactly.
MlJACKIE, is that right?
Yes.
And then we've got MLJACKIE pickups here.
Yes.
Tell me, these are Australian hand-wound pickups?
Yes. It's all made here in Australia from wooden bobbins. And we have a lot of designs, humbuckers, P90s, single coils for Telecaster, everything.
Yeah. And so you do them in sets as well as single pickups that you sell them?
Yeah.
And so if you were, what's kind of your product specialty, do you think?
The wooden bobbins.
The bobbins?
No one's built here in Australia wooden bobbins pickups.
Yeah. So the wooden bobbins look beautiful. So let's have a look at these. That design, I can tell you that's something that I would put in a guitar of mine and be very happy with how that looks. Beautiful looking pickups. It's inspiring in the global guitar world to see a product that comes up that's built just down the road. So here we are with Lockie from Poly Effects. Tell us a little bit. You've got a couple of new products in the last 12 months. The Amp-All is one, and the Reverb, right?
Verbs. Yep.
So tell us a little bit about them.
So yeah, Verbs is our real space reverb. Yep. So it, no algorithms, actual captures of real spaces.
Yeah.
So, instead of just being like, oh, we are in a room that's a generic kind of space, you can be like, oh, I'm in the Pantheon of Rome. It's actually a capture of the Pantheon of Rome.
Yeah. So you literally went to the Pantheon of Rome.
The Pantheon of Rome capture wasn't by us; it was by another group.
Right.
So and
But
it's actually the Pantheon of Rome. Yeah. And the first preset is the Pool of the Blackstar,
right,
which is this space in Canada,
right,
which is built by the Freemasons and it's an acoustic lens.
Wow.
It's purposely meant to sound amazing. They designed it to sound it cool.
Wow.
And the YouTuber Heinbach, if you've heard of him,
yeah.
He captured that one. Wow.
Cool.
So he gave us that one. And it's a really cool space. And
So these are all
convolution reverb. Yeah. So and we've got the longest reverb in the world as well.
Right.
Itching down oil tanks that you might have seen in the Mark Ronson video.
Yeah.
So we had convolution reverb in Bebo,
Yes.
which was our pedal that we launched 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 8. Yeah.
Sometime in the last decade.
Yeah. 2019. Yeah. And so we had a convolution in that.
Yeah.
But that was only about 3.4 seconds.
Right.
Whereas this one can do, I think, about 47 seconds. So
47 seconds.
Yeah.
So you can hold one note like David Gilmour and then literally go and make lunch and come back and it'll still be going.
Yeah, so that's like, the oil tanks are that long.
Right.
So that's why we needed something really long for that.
Yeah.
And then also in October we launched Handbuilt,
Yes.
which is 56 different amps.
Yeah.
And
My understanding of that is that you've chosen some amps that are not your usual, like it's not just a 5150 and a black faced reverb, which is cool. It's really great to see that there are other great amps, Supros and stuff that you put in there that are, great sounding amps that you don't often see in bundling.
Well, yeah, one of the things is we've got like a classic US category, which has got lots of the normal Fenders.
Yeah.
But it's got some slightly edgier Fenders, like the Dual Showman and stuff like that, which is my favorite of that category.
Yeah, sure.
But it's got some Music Mans and stuff like that. And then in the British category, we've got things like the Watkins Dominator, amp from the 50s. The Beatles used them. They're really interesting. And then, things like Oranges and Mad Amps, High Watts, Sound Cities, all of those kind of bit interesting British stuff.
That's right.
But we've also got, as well as the vintage stuff that's pretty common in modeling, we've got a bunch of boutique amps, so like more modern things. Because I kind of want people to be able to try stuff. What does the Benson sound like? What does the Milkman sound like? What does there's a really nice sounding Bad Cat in there. Also, I think it's kind of interesting from a history point of view. Because there's some amps in there that you can't buy anymore, even boutique ones, like the Zinke that's in there that you can't buy them. The Three Monkeys. Those kind of ones. You can get some fun stuff, but still be able to get it. So and
Great. Thank you for that. I really appreciate your time today. It's cool.
Oh, good. And made in Melbourne.
That's it, made in Melbourne, and that's what we're all about, local builders. And this is a local builder on an international scale too.
And we do all the manufacturing in-house, like I do the metalworking, we bend them ourselves. We've started making our own foot switches now, so we've got a big lathe to make all of them, and doing all the metalworking. We do all the PCB assembly in-house, have our own pick and place line, everything.
Amazing. That's so cool.
Like do it all here.
Great, thanks Loggy. As we continue with our local builders expose here, we've got Shane here from EchoFix. Tell us a little bit about some of the stuff you brought to the show. I noticed this FET compressor is a new thing for you.
Yes, this is a product that we've been teasing on Instagram. It's finished. It's about to be announced. It's a brand new compressor. It's brand new circuits, input gain, boost knob for higher gain settings, mix knob, high pass filter. The supply voltages in these are like studio level. So this is actually a studio compressor that you can use on your pedal board.
So obviously it's these buttons alone say it's an 1176 type of thing, with a few inspired, but a few additions that you obviously it's in a pedal format. But is this something for guitarists as well as say line level, keyboards and all that sort of stuff?
It's for everybody. Yeah. But we did think about the guitarist with this one. So we put a JFET input on this that also, and that's the boost. It's a FET boost going into a FET compressor.
So the foot switches, you've got just the compression, and then the boost you could sort of have that off and just use that to boost it, right?
Exactly right.
Great.
Yeah, because the compression is going to limit your peaks a little bit, and then make the compression go away. You've got this more dynamic boost.
So the boost kind of sits there the whole time.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Great. This Chorus Echo is a newer one for you guys, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We released that last year. It's essentially the analog chorus out of our tape echoes, but we added the wave shape and the resonance, which actually changed the sound a lot.
It does.
So yeah, that was another thing. It's good for synthesizers, but the guitar guys like it, and also to turn off the direct signal, you get a vibrato.
Yeah. And are these lights, are they timing to the speed of the modulation?
Yeah.
Great, that's what I want to hear.
Yeah. So you got a little bit of a visual kind of indication.
If nothing else, it looks cool, and when we're staring at our pedal boards, we want our pedals to look cool.
Totally. Well, it's a lot that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and this is our spring. It's been a really good one for us. Really popular.
Yep.
Once again, it's got a JFET fed input. It's got the direct on and off, so you can easily get wet reverb for studio. Because everything we do, we come from a studio background, so everything we do, we want to make sure it works in the studio as well as on your pedal board.
Yeah, great. Yeah, which is definitely becoming the thing now, as everyone's, you know, in and outs and all sorts of different ways that they're setting up their rigs.
Yep.
You can't just be line level or just instrument level anymore, right?
No, well, I was just talking to a guy earlier, and he was saying that the compressor's going to be perfect for him because he travels a lot, so he can have something in the studio, whack it in his bag, away he goes, and he still feels like he's got something of the quality of a rack unit. So, and we've also got XLR combo input, so guitar, XLR, and we've also got the XLR output and a side chain input, so you can do all that type of synth ducking and stuff with a kick drum trigger.
Right. A studio and a guitarist's tool, perfect. Thanks for showing us that stuff.
No problem. Cheers, mate.
We are with Ollie from Franklin Audio Devices. Now, of course, we're at the guitar show, and I love talking about guitars, but there are products that are guitar and also other audio related, and Franklin, you guys do a lot of this sort of stuff. I know that you have your keyboard mixer and things like that. Show us about some of the products you've brought to the guitar show.
Yeah, you're right. We primarily do like this synth switcher. Yep. But being a guitar show, we wanted to show that a couple of our Reamp boxes and DIs as well are products that can help people use their existing pedals in some new ways. Yes. So we have the Reamp box, mono and stereo Reamp boxes. So effectively, any sound you already have recorded, you can bring it back out of the computer and use all of your pedals. And it works. Like I said, then DI it or put into an amp, see how you go.
We've got a stereo Reamp box here, which I think is a killer idea, and I don't know of many others that do it. Is it a relatively unique product?
There are a couple of Reamp boxes, but there's also some boxes that have like heaps of other features. They have like loop in and out and headphone outputs and a series of stuff, where ours is just pure analog, passive device that really all it does is gives you a level control and also impedance control.
Yes, cool.
So you've come out of your interface, and now depending on if you're going to a fuzz or if you're going to an amp, you might want to adjust that impedance.
But you can run your whole mix through your Space Echo or through your Overdrive or whatever you want, which is a great idea.
Yeah, definitely, and especially like things like drums, saxophones, vocals. Like get all those things through your pedals. It's so much fun.
Right, exactly.
And on that note, we've also got a prototype of something we're working on, which is our mic to pedals.
Right.
So the idea of this is you can take any mic. And get it into your pedals. So it's primarily just a little mic preamp that then gives you an instrument level output into your pedal chain.
And then you just run into a DI back to XLR.
Exactly.
Killer.
Yep. So that's still in prototype stage, but we're very close. And then that'll just be a really simple way to have fun with that.
Great. So another sort of Melbourne Guitar Show special is this Franklin prototype that we'll see very soon, I hope.
Absolutely.
Great. So as quiet time here is just about to end, we've got Simon here from Skull Guitars. Now we can see Simon Koloskar, so that's where Skull comes from, obviously. Tell us a little bit about the guitars.
We are launching the company today after more than 2 years of...
Launching today?
Yes.
Another Melbourne Guitar Show exclusive for you.
That's the first time. So as you can see, we have a pretty sleek and innovative design. We've been working on getting something quite different. It's pretty ergonomic. We did a good job trying to hide all the visible screws, so then it's more cleaner.
That's true, I just realized that. So there are no screws visible.
No screws for the selector switch. Everything is pretty nice and clean.
Yes.
And on the back you won't have an ugly plastic cavity control cover with plenty of screws. So we have a magnetic cover that you can easily release.
That is cool.
And then you access for all the controls. This is the pickup height adjust. You can quickly change your strings from the tremolo bridge. This is brass neck plate. As you can see, quite easy. If you grab it, you will see that it's quite comfy. The center core of the guitar is made of could be Queensland maple or Tasmanian oak, and then the surrounding is epoxy resin. And then the necks are all timber. You can choose the different fingerboards material. It could be rosewood, could be maple. That one is rich light, for example. We have a bunch of different inlay designs. You can choose all the different components from fixed bridges, tremolos, Floyd rolls. You can choose how many frets you want. If you want it.
So very customizable.
Yeah.
Great.
That's the idea.
And a very unique look too, which I like.
Yeah, it's pretty unique, pretty comfy.
Yep.
Ready to shred and rock and roll, good time.
Ready to shred. That's what we need to hear. Cheers, Simon.
Thank you so much.
And you know we love Blackstar on Noisegate. So a couple of new things on Blackstar here. We've got this new CDS Mark 3 Series 1 Mark 2, which is cool. That's new for Blackstar. And we've got the Jared James Nichols, the Blackstar St. James, the green one behind there. The Jared James Nichols signature, and some good shredding going on in the background there too. Another Guitar Show special is these Vox Handwired series here. So Vox have redone their kind of Handwired series, or reapproached it, I guess. They've got these slightly thinner cabs. They've got a new transformer in them, and some mod cons like a speaker out or a cab out, so that you can run an attenuator with your AC30, and also an effects loop. That is a really great feature that wasn't on a vintage Vox, but with the hand-wired tone of a vintage Vox. So these are a great addition to the Vox lineup. Basically, they were made almost specially for the Melbourne Guitar Show, so that they could be demoed here. But a killer amp and worth checking out when you get a chance. Of course, also that new Vox wah, auto wah that we demoed on the channel just recently, which you know I'm a fan of. Mitch from Fender in the Fender Experience, which is a pretty cool setup that you've got here.
Look, it's not bad. We're enjoying it. It's a bit warm, but it's very good.
What have you brought here that's specific here? I can see some custom shop on the wall behind us.
There's a lot of custom shop, which is really nice. We've got a few artist signature models in here too, and the new MLJACKIE Heritage stuff is here too. So yeah, all new lines, all new fun, and all the new standard series is here too.
Great. And in the background we've got Leon Todd shredding away there. But the whole Fender entering into the digital realm of late. I know that you're actually a user of the Tone Master. How have you found the Tone Master as a product?
Look, I have fully lent into the Tone Master. I was digital. I was a tube amp guy for a really long time, and I reckon it might have actually been you years ago on something or other that you were on a digital rig, and I was like, Andy McGarvey, he can do that. I like it. You know, sort of piqued my interest a little bit, and then the Tone Master popped its head up, and I kind of got it and spent some time with it, and I was like, this is actually a really, really good unit. It does all the things I want it to do, and it's very, very, very easy and simple, and convenient too.
And it's cool that this, obviously Fender is such a serious name in guitar, and it's cool that I think at NAMM, they went back at NAMM for the first time in a long time, and a big showing here at Melbourne Guitar. So does that mean that Fender are re-entering in a big way the guitar world?
I'd say definitely. Like NAMM was a really big showing for us. We had a room about this size and kind of separate to everyone else, and we just did our thing there. And this being here in the Melbourne Guitar Show, just having our little Fender Experience room where we can show everything that's Fender and just create that whole Fender experience.
Create the vibe.
Yeah, you get everything that we do, from the tube amps to digital amps, all the guitars, right from the ground up, and all our spa and lifestyle stuff too. So.
Lovely. Cheers. Thanks for your time.
Pleasure.